It is a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today is day trace of the con. It's hard to do while holding something in your hand. Or how is it they do in the Trenton Tarantino movie? One where they go kill the Nazis. They do three like this instead of like this. I don't know. I'm babbling because I'm tired. Anyway, day 3 of Spacecon, last day. Let's go in and check out what's going on. Don't have anything planned today. Nothing major going on. No cosplay contest or anything like that. Some panels we'll go sit in on, maybe some autographs or pictures. I don't know about those. No? Yesterday went pretty smooth with the Brie Larson picture, but I don't know. It's a lot of money. Anyway, I'm inviting you to come along. Come on. I think I'm gonna play some Galaga before I go in. Hey, look, a wallet. I think that one's actually mine. I think this might be a good place to leave my last duck.
Activity as well, because I swear I could go on a tangent about this, but like honestly, knitting is a scam. It is sold to you as this relaxing thing that older people do in their chair that's all relaxing. It is so hard. I have shed tears over it, honestly, and I paid for 2 private lessons because I couldn't do it.
From Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to The Greatest Showman, which film have you had the most fun learning new choreography for?
I think Crouching Tiger was pretty stressful, I'm not gonna lie. I was so young, and also I had so little time. I was cast like 2.5 weeks before we started shooting, and I had to become a wuxia warrior. And those are some really deep lunges. Like if you don't have the leg muscles, to do that in 2.5 weeks was crazy. So I enjoyed that for Ahsoka I had so much more time, and by the time we trained for 2 to 3 months before each project, and in between I have practice swords at home, you know, I'm always like twirling and just keeping myself physically adept. So I think I felt much less like a fraud.
With his courage and wit, please welcome the legendary George Takei. Next year is 2026, exactly 60 years since Star Trek was born, back in 1966. And do I see any bald heads or gray hair? Because it's those of you that were around then that helped us make that long journey. 60 years of Star Trek. And to those of you who have a lush head of hair and were born in the 21st century, thank you for knowing your history and joining the team and making Star Trek live long and prosper.
Interesting talk with George Takei. It's fun. I'm thirsty. See if I can get my Wild Bill mug filled up with a frosty beverage.
In France at that time, and I mean, it's very top secret, right? So you kind of get a vague description of the character, and I got what we call dummy sides, basically sides that are written for the audition or sides from a different movie, and I just did one tape, and it was one scene, and afterwards I got a call from the casting director, and basically found out that it was for Star Wars. I got the chance to get on a call with Dave and John, who were very kind to explain to me what the series is about, and told me a little bit about Shin. And of course, right away, I just wanted to become part of it. And it was quite quick, but I've mentioned it before. I think so much of it has to do with John and Dave leading with intuition and just knowing what they want. And I just feel really lucky that I became part of this family.
I also imagine, because again, this is all very difficult to pick up and learn and memorize, so there's probably little things, little actions that happen. You might hit someone accidentally. I think Hayden was here last week talking about a lot of bruised knuckles and a lot of that. So for you, what are some of those challenges learning this choreography like?
Sir, I've hit myself so many times. Oh my God. I remember in the first season, I was brought into a clinic because I hit myself with a lightsaber, and I got a tiny concussion from it. So the doctor, when he was writing the document, I still have the document. It was like the reason for injury, hit by a lightsaber. And then honestly, that only continued, even in the second season. There's a few moments, even captured on camera, when I just yanked myself. But thankfully, I didn't hit too many of my opponents. It only has to do with me injuring myself, which is, maybe I prefer just hitting myself instead of others. I don't know.
I've done a lot of interviews with Jedi, and that's the first time I've ever heard of someone hitting themselves that many times. Wow. Patrick's over here. Great question here, Patrick. He would like to know, what do you think is a force power you would like to have, but you would abuse in real life? Oh, Patrick.
Force power that I would like to have that I would abuse. I mean, it's easy to abuse any power once you have it, right? So you could abuse anything if you don't have the balance within it. I would say. I mean, when I look at the current state of the world, I wish I could force choke, but but it's not, Patrick, how the world works. So I do want to believe that we can lead with light and only grow from it.
One word to help us understand, or how you would describe what we're in for season 2.
Oh, I wonder what Natasha said.
She actually cheated. She said bigger and better.
Oh God. Well, that's true. That's true. Companionship. I'll pick that one.
I saved this one for last because I think this means more to you than everyone else in here. So if I can just hand this to you.
Oh, thank you. Who wrote this? It says, Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Heroyam Slava. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for welcoming me in Texas. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this conversation.
We are so happy that you made this trip. We are so excited to see where Shin's journey takes place from here on out. You left us with a wonderful cliffhanger, and we cannot wait to see what's in store for season 2. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
San Antonio, make some noise for Ivana Saka!
Thank you guys. It means the world to be a part of this world.
One of the most iconic sci-fi action films of the 90s. A movie that makes satire, spectacle, and space bugs in a way no one's ever forgotten. Starship Troopers became a cult classic thanks to its fearless cast, unforgettable characters, and endless quotable moments that still hold up today. Welcome to the Roughnecks. Please welcome to the stage Casper Van Dien, Dina Meyer, and Michael Ironside. I do have a confession. I told you this before, Casper, that I was just 8 years old the first time I watched Starship Troopers. Very odd for an 8-year-old to watch that. But I had this British friend, his parents were from England, and just rented a movie for us, not knowing what it was. Went over for a sleepover, and but yeah, watching that movie old was kind of shocking to me because I became a man the next day, apparently. I woke up a man after watching Starship Troopers. Learned a lot, that is for sure. When y'all first were approached or got the script, I'm sure y'all two auditioned, but I'm sure, Michael, you were just offered the role directly, right? I'm sure you didn't have to audition for this role, you were just offered
Paul, I knew Paul from doing Total Recall, and I was actually concerned. Yeah, Paul's a great director. I was actually concerned because the book was this huge right-wing manifesto, and knowing that Paul was a survivor of the Second World War. Paul, as a kid, for fun, used to find 88 shells, like Panzer 88 shells in the fields, and as kids they put their foot on it and hit this shell with a hammer and fired them off. This is the kind of thing we did for fun as a kid, being raised in the Netherlands and stuff. I was concerned because he said to me, he says, I'm going to make this film. What, you don't trust me? I said, no, I want to know what you're doing with it. You know, and it's slightly fastidious. And he said, I'm going to make a perfect world where everyone's beautiful. You know, if you've seen the shower scene, I know what you and everything's gorgeous. He said, and all the architecture is good. He says, but it's only good for killing bugs. And I said, all right, I'm in.
And here's a fun fact for the chemistry. When I first got the material and the audition, they wanted me to read for the part of Carmen originally. And when I was reading the script for the backstory, I just kept finding myself gravitating more to the role of Dizzy. Like I could envision my mouth making Dizzy words.
I think we were all gravitating towards Dizzy.
Well, we all had very good taste. So I had asked, would it be okay if I auditioned for Dizzy instead? I just found myself, you know, I'm more dizzy. I was more dizzy than Carmen, and so when I went in to read for Paul, I asked, and he was like, okay, sure, you want? And that was it, and the rest is history, and I wound up getting it.
The designs in the film are amazing, from the uniforms to the gear. How was it, you know, first day wearing your uniform and playing around with the gear? And that helped kind of embody your character more once you got suited up.
I mean, the uniforms were incredible to look at. Not very comfortable and not always the most efficient.
They were fashionable, they weren't functional.
Yeah, and, I mean, the first time I tried the uniform on, because they had to test for it, they had me do some bends and stretches, and they go, now just do a couple movements, and I went like this, and the pants ripped right in the middle. Yeah. Luckily, I was wearing underwear. But I was like, they're like, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah, they didn't have any Lycra. There was no stretch at all, and they were like lined with nylon that didn't breathe.
They were made of Kevlar.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't breathe. At the end of the day, the wardrobe people would literally tilt them up and pour sweat out of them.
Not mine. Mine were fine.
Yours?
She doesn't sweat, okay?
I glow.
She's a lady.
We had close to, what, 300 extras? And they didn't completely...
1,400 extras.
They had
They just
shit thrown in
Febrezed them.
some
They
of
just
those
Febrezed
things.
them. You know, Lysol. Some.
They had to disinfect some of the uniforms.
Well, yours after you did.
What did I piss you off or something? You're gonna fucking bite my ass through this whole goddamn panel?
We had that uniform, but we also had, I never fucking said a thing about Disney.
They want to say, no, they want
We
the
had-
stories. I'm trying to.
All right, so I wanted to be in the shower scene. Big
Yeah.
deal.
Tell them when we pulled you out of the pit with no legs.
What's the weed there? You got a mouse up your ass or
Yes,
something?
what happened? What happened up my ass? What?
No, there's actually, we were shooting that pit scene where my character dies. And it was about 105 degrees. It was like high noon. And Paul had a Formica pit. He wanted the sun to reflect. So actually we're in a bit of a concave lens. So that, you know, and I had heat frost. I don't remember shooting this scene. It's absolutely true. I was in a kind of a half costume with the, you know, the
Prosthetic.
A half costume with these. You want to tell the story?
No, the legs. I was helping you. I was helping
With
you.
these mutilated legs and stuff like that, and I'm buried in it. And Dizzy and the trooper there was trying to pull me out. And I couldn't remember the lines. I actually turned to Casper. Captain, I don't remember a damn thing about it. Captain said I turned to him and asked for my line.
Yeah, Michael knew everybody's line in the script. I just want you to know this. He's a very...
I have dyslexia, so I learned everyone's dialogue.
And I have dyslexia too, so it's interesting, but he does know everybody's line. He's a professional. And the first time in my life, he turned to me and looked while he's in this, getting overheated, and he looks and he goes, Casper. And he goes, I don't know what I say. And I say, you know what to do, Rico. And he goes, you know what to do, Rico. And I do that scene and I shoot him, and then I go, we gotta take him. He's not here.
Yeah, I got heat prostrate. I passed out. I went to the hospital. If you ever get, they call it sunstroke. Every orifice in your body opens up. If you ever get that, so they had to steam clean my outfit that night. Dizzy actually got hurt right after that. Dina, you also got heat prostrate?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the heat. It was like, because it was such an awkward setup in the pit, in the vermiculite, we couldn't get our footing properly, and we were trying to pull Michael out, and we were below the set. So when I yanked him out, like with the force, I wound up like smacking my head on the set.
On the floor. Yeah,
But we were in the hole, so it was like up.
So Michael, they took him to the hospital, and they put the dummy Michael in with the no legs that we literally pull out. And as we're pulling out, she smacked her head so hard she knocked herself out. She is a knockout, but then she knocked herself out.
The film actually holds a record for the most money spent on ammunition to this day. I think we spent close to $1.4 million just on ammunition on that film.
Yeah, because Rock Pilati came to us. He's also a Marine. He was our weapons guy. He came to me. He goes, Casper. We're in 2 months and 1 week to this movie. He goes, we just broke the world's record for the most ammunition fired on a film. And we went for 6.5 months straight, and then 2 weeks as pickup shots. But we broke it at 2 months and 1 week. We got the record. We're still in the Guinness Book of Records for the most amount of. So we had 30 actors firing, 30 stunt guys firing, and then we had the rock on the big guns just going. He had to melt. He was like, we were melting that. We had to tell Paul we couldn't shoot because they were just going so hard on those on the big guns, on the turrets, that they were. I don't know any of you are Marines or weapons guys out there, but they were just firing them so long and so hard that they were melting them.
Yeah, they were M16s cut down with a futuristic stock put on them, and Paul wanted a big flame out of the front, so they were overloads. They were overload shells and stuff like that. And some of us got burned, because we get in a line of fire and the flame would come out and stuff like that. But it was effective.
It was coming out like what? Like coming like a foot on the side and like 2 feet in the front?
It was coming out of the sides and everything, and Paul just loved it.
Yeah, get closer, and you were sure that you were getting.
We had to line up staggered so we wouldn't get burned and stuff like that.
But we
a few
still
of us
got
got shot.
Yeah. Some.
I won't point out who shot me in the face, but.
Shot him right in the face.
What a woman to get shot in the face by.
He deserved it.
I got 2 days off because I was all blistered.
Yeah, he took favor, but he didn't breathe.
But also,
the argument was I may have been off my mark.
Well, that's what happens.
That's right. The veteran of 320 films was off my mark. I'm not pointing the finger or anything.
I don't even remember it.
No, it was absolutely kind of controlled havoc a lot of times on scene. Paul would start a scene right after we unloaded about 3 clips, and everyone's basically deaf after you fire 50 rounds, 50 calibers right beside your head, and then Paul goes, "We do another take, okay?" And people couldn't hear the directions, so there was a lot of misdirection and stuff.
Well, not only that, we did have ear protection in also. So like we couldn't really hear
You had
anybody.
ear protection?
Not all the time. Sometimes it would go and you lost it, and then these helmets would just like, it would echo and reverberate in there, and you wouldn't have your ear protection in. And I am part deaf now because of that. I have a harder time hearing, and also usually it's the women's voices that are harder to hear.
Well, that's
My wife goes, nice try.
selective hearing.
What?
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What?
Deaf like Starship Troopers.
Then you'd be doing a take and Jake Busey in the middle of it run out of ammunition. He'd go, "I'm out of ammunition," and walk off camera. So we'd have to shoot the goddamn thing again. Say, "Jake, act when you run out of ammunition. Act."
We have fake bugs.
He's not here so we can shit on him.
You're welcome.
Jake's not here.
Yeah, let's shit on Jake.
But Jake comes into my trailer just before we were supposed to shoot this 14-hour day in the shower. And he goes, "Casper." And we're both like, "What, dude?" I'm like naked, getting my towel on to go in there. And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Put this on." And he handed me a strap on. A huge, like, past your knee strap on. And I'm like, "All right." And then Dina proceeded, like Paul Verhoeven came in, we're gonna shoot the shower scene. We're all like a little nervous, we're all like, we're gonna all be naked together. I've never seen any of them naked. And I didn't want to see any of these dudes naked, personally. And and Tina's there. And I hadn't seen her naked. And
I hasn't seen anybody naked.
yeah, we hadn't seen it.
How did Paul react?
Paul goes, "You guys are so nervous. Why are you so shy? Oh, you look like you're so rude. And Tina goes, "Oh yeah, if she goes, oh my God."
Yeah, I was like, he goes, "What's the big deal? What's the big deal?" I said, "Well, it's not such a big deal, big shot. Let's see you take your, you're standing there with your clothes, you're fully clothed behind the camera. Let's see you take your clothes off."
So he goes, and Yost goes, and he goes, "Yost?" And he goes, that's our DP. And I go, "Oh God, no! God, no!"
My eyes,
And he
my
goes,
eyes.
"Okay, you guys ready to shoot?" "Yes, please, just put back," and they put the pants on, and they left, and I go, "Oh my God, Tina, I didn't know he was gonna do that."
Joseph Stefano was difficult to look at even with his clothes on.
That was fun. That was a fun panel. Now we get to see Lessons in Power with Brie Larson. See what that is.
She's been in a plethora of projects. We've watched her all grow up on the small screen as well as the big. She's here with us now. Captain Marvel herself. Get on your feet. Make some noise for Brie Larson! No, it's just gonna be 30 minutes of them screaming their heads off for
Oh, really? That's an interesting way to spend your time. We could do that.
I think it would be valuable to them as well as myself. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been great to meet. I'm sure a lot of you out here I've met over the last day and a half, and that's part of why I love coming to these things. Something like Captain Marvel goes out in the world, and you might think that I understand what it means to you, but I don't, because I'm not there in your chat with your friends. I'm not there with you after the movie, after you walk out of the movie. So this is my time where I get to learn about how you've taken these stories and made them your own. And I really appreciate this time together.
Well, snowball question first. This may or may not be your first time in San Antonio. How's it been going for you so far?
I've eaten queso 3 to 4 times a day. Queso for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What in the multiverse is a hot dog appreciation festival?
Courtney is actually the president and founder of the Hot Dog Appreciation Club.
That's a thing?
It's a thing. I mean, honestly, anything can be a thing, but she made it a thing. And she started a hot dog appreciation festival. This last summer was our 4th year. And it's exactly what you think. People wear hot dog paraphernalia, we grill up a lot of dogs, we do hot dog trivia, and we vote. We do a vote on if a hot dog is a sandwich. And so far, democracy is alive and well, and it is not a sandwich. It's its own thing. Thank you.
You guys
I'll
agree?
end to that. We can say that because Courtney's not here to defend herself.
Well, listen, this has been absolutely spectacular. If you guys have any questions for Bree, do not hesitate to go meet her at her booth. Please do that. We cannot wait to see you sometime, hopefully very soon, back on the big screen, wearing your outfits, also teaming up with Aman Vellani. Let's do that again, shall we? San Antonio, make some noise for the one, the only, Bree Olson!
Ran into some Power Rangers. No, no, don't kill me! No! Just finishing up the last day of Spacecon video, and I realized I had a little bit of technical issue with the outro, so that's going to do it from the Spacecon 2025 in San Antonio, Texas. Hope you enjoyed these videos. I had fun making them. First time I ever done a con 3 days in a row. I was very, very tired by the end of it, and I appreciate you watching all 3 of these. Or if you haven't watched all 3 of them, go back and look at the other ones. They're kind of entertaining. Anyway, thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. And now for something completely different. Bye.